This is Cate Swannell for the MJA. Today we're talking with Editor-in-Chief Stephen Leeder about the 15th of September issue. Hello, Steve.
Hi, Kate.
It's all about cannabinoids and Ebola this week. It's a bit grim, isn't it?
Yes, it's grim stuff. The article about synthetic marijuana derivatives or analogues is quite interesting and makes the point that whatever society's attitudes and laws may be, it is nevertheless important for medical people to understand how to manage people who've made use of these substances, because they can be very toxic. And the call that's put out by the people writing the article about synthetic cannabinoids is saying we need a national approach. We
Right.
should be sharing information about the best way to manage these drugs medically, and I think it's a very reasonable point of view to put. So we've got an article from them. Yeah,
Now, we've got a couple of good articles about Ebola, particularly about the politics and ethics of what's going on in Africa.
we do indeed, and Ebola is sort of a symbolic disease in the sense that we know that a lot of it is attributable to the poverty in the communities in which it's occurring. And the African countries in which this is happening, that is in particular Guinea, Sierra Leone and Liberia, are very poor. Guinea, according to the stats, spends about $60 a year per person on healthcare. That compares with nearly 4,000 a person in Australia. The poverty manifests in terms of infrastructure for medical care. So the problem is that if you get people with Ebola, where are you going to treat them, how are you going to treat them, and who's going to provide the treatment, and how do you keep them, in a sense, quarantined from the rest of the community so that the spread of Ebola is reduced?
Yeah.
So a lot of these things, according to the writers of the article, look at the sort of economic politics of Ebola, come from economic policies for development that have been favoured in recent years, trying to get smaller countries to move into a position where they have no debt and cut back on all government expenditure, the sort of heavy-handed austerity measures, as it were, that have been the recipes imposed by World Bank, International Monetary Fund. So the authors are really saying, hey guys, we've got a problem with Ebola, but just look under the surface a bit and you'll find that there are huge social economic reasons why this is sort of taking off. So we've got to be careful about that. I was quite taken by St. Francis of Assisi's advice, which is, well, when you're faced with all of these problems, first do what's necessary.
Yeah.
Then you can move on to thinking about what might be possible.
Yeah.
And then you might find yourself doing impossible. So just a point of kind of ecclesiastical comfort, I suppose.
Sounds like publishing a medical journal to me.
That does rather, doesn't it? So strong similarities there. Maybe that's why it appealed to me. But we certainly do face global health challenges in the form of Ebola, but it's not as big as others. And we've got another article in the journal by Henry Greenberg, who's a cardiologist from New York, who points to the different ages of global assistance for health from World War II onwards, one of them being in relation to infectious disease, another in maternal and child survival. But he's saying the biggest challenge, bluntly, that we face now are chronic diseases.
Yes, absolutely.
It's easy to lose sight of that in the sort of super excitement of something dramatic like Ebola, but there are millions of people dying of pretty boring heart disease and stroke and other problems, diabetes.
Yes.
Day by day, and that's something where perhaps Australia could provide some leadership, as we've said in other places.
Indeed.
We're a very fortunate country, and maybe we need to play a bigger role, not only in fighting battles overseas, but actually meeting some of our international health obligations for it.